Well, first thing, since you showed this about 2 months ago.
Oh, what did I fix?
Yeah, what did you fix?
I've been working on the lowercase to make sure my widths are more consistent, so my S is much wider than last time, and my G is also a little bit more congruous with the rest of the lowercase. Every letter I think is actually different entirely, but this past couple weeks I've been focusing on the lowercase and getting. Porches told me that I should look more at crawl modern, so I re-proportioned my capitals so it's more like how crawl modern works. So those are just some things I worked on, and also trying to get the numerals to work at such a wide weight. I guess I've worked the least on the numerals of anything here, but so yeah.
Can I?
Oh, no, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Considering your H is one of your control characters, I kind of feel like it's really wide compared to your other.
The other letters, like which?
Yeah, that's entirely likely.
Or is it the angle?
No, it is a vibe.
It looks. Yeah.
We'll do a spacing stream. Do like a I don't know, like a HO HO A.
Yeah. And then I'll just and then let's see here.
Where?
It doesn't look as bad.
Right. So I mean,
but in yeah, I don't know.
In
it
the
looked maybe a little wide too.
Right.
No, when you showed the light, I did think it was too wide.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, relative to the O, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, compared to the O,
I mean, I feel like the H could get a little bit narrower, but it's always like if I'm changing that, what other things am I going to have to change? Because I was trying to proportion things off of each other.
I wonder whether if you just narrowed it a bit, whether everything would fall into place. Because like if you look at one of your most detailed shapes, like your S, I'm not sure how much wider you could.
Are you mixing these with superpolator?
No, this is fully. This is just one weight. Oh, you mean when I interpolate them?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm working with a different interpolator.
Okay, but if you can do like just single glyph testing, just stretch out that H and try different widths and feel just to see like when it snaps into position.
Right. Yeah, I should work with that. That's a good idea.
I really like the general feel of the font. It looks really nice. I especially like the R and the S. The Q seems a bit weird. Seems a bit off for me for some reason. And there was another letter that just the leg of it. The wiggly thing. It seems a bit like off. Oh, and the G seemed a bit too much to me. And also like the width of the little line, like on a U, like for example, like maybe try making just a bit wider. It looks like a bit too narrow.
Serif or
This is just my layman's opinion, but
No, it's all good.
No, it's valid. Yeah, man. I'm not sure which one you mean though.
In general, all the lines on the U and the V and the W, all the thin lines seem just a shade too thin in comparison with the wide. I like the wide versus the thin, but like it's a bit too thin. Yeah, I should look at my diagonals and how they match up with my straights.
Screen is very not sharp.
Well, there's that. Yes.
It's also fuzzy.
I'm really fond of the gesture of the tail of your capital R, but every time I see it show in the text, it's creating a huge space.
I know.
Yeah. No, I do believe you.
Maybe
It's
leave
gonna
that as
create
an alternate.
big space.
I don't like just leaving alternates, although my grand scheme was in my narrow version it becomes more upright, the gesture, and so it kind of like collapses in with width. But maybe that's just something that doesn't work, and I should just have the R and the A just go straight upright like Scotch.
I may have to put it in.
Yeah.
I mean, the gesture of it having a bit of slant is nice. We don't want it to go too much towards vertical, but it's a little bit. It's just spreading a little too far.
Yeah.
I really like your G actually. I mean, not your G, your Q. The tail of your Q. It's kind of cute.
I think
maybe it needs to be.
I think it could get heavier.
It's slower. It feels slower than everything
Oh,
almost.
curve.
Yeah, like the
You know, like
the momentum of the curve.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the
You're
R
right.
leg is like,
Oh yeah,
right,
you're
and like
right.
the Q.
Yes.
I didn't change the speed of the Q yet. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the O and the Q could get wider. 'Cause
Well, we
you
talked
look-
about that.
Look at the counter on the C, and there's like so much white space, and like you probably have like the outside shape like the same, right? But then like you've got like
The C is narrower intentionally, but
Oh.
It is
Well, it doesn't
compared to the O.
look like it.
yes, is that
Like,
I mean
I'm
like
going-
metrically a C should be narrower than the O because it has so much less
Right.
black
No.
on it.
No, we get it, but like visually.
Oh,
Visually, it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
look
it's
like
not
it.
quite there. Yeah.
Like right now, I feel like if I could just lay the O over the C, they would be
See
about
what's
the same, like on the outside.
The middle stroke on your
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, anyway.
the middle stroke on your lowercase g just feels too heavy. It sticks out to me.
Yeah. No.
Especially just I get you're going for contrast, but like it just it feels way too thick.
No, I don't want to stand out too much. I was just told that it's all right. I mean, it's fascinating when you work between so many critiques, but like I was told like it's all right for the bottom stroke of the G to be the heaviest part, but I feel like it might be too heavy. So that's true too. I've had lots of trouble with just kind of. I mean, it's really unfortunate this screen is so. Sorry.
Keep going.
I've had lots of trouble with my diagonals and my V's
Mm-hmm.
because most DDOs, of course, please note, like some of my changes aren't in the uppercase. Like my serif and my V will probably be this weight here, and I was trying to get the V to match, say, the S. In terms of serif, like weight or something. But I've had a lot of trouble getting the weight of this diagonal high contrast serif to work because most DDOs
Yeah,
don't have a serif, a bracketed serif there. They usually are just like two flat lines. So it's been tricky figuring that out.
Yeah, I wonder what, like, with your serifs on your uppercase, they feel like got really high socks.
Wait, what's up? What's high socks?
High sauce.
High like, I wonder whether they could start.
Like
Wait, do you mean like the serif like on the end, like?
Yeah, let's look at the cup end.
Okay.
I wonder whether it could bracket.
more
I'm
gradually?
trying to think of how to articulate it after a couple of red lines. But
Yeah, that's okay. You do. I think you're doing great, Troy.
maybe they're too heavy. A little.
Well, it might be the momentum, like the speed of the
maybe-
curvature.
Yeah, it could come down a little lower before it started to.
Like
Exactly.
Too much like this and not like this.
Oh, so like
you
it
could
starts
spread
too
them
high up.
and, like,
Yeah, maybe it starts a bit higher. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you
higher
think?
still.
It kind of feels like.
The diagonals do
I know it's you're trying to get the weight in there.
Right.
Maybe it wouldn't if you reduced them and made them lighter. They would
Yeah.
be too light compared to some of your other.
Although they
Yeah,
will probably
I'm sure.
resemble like the weight of this on there. I mean, they're almost similar, but not quite, because it's.
Well, is that right for it to be heavier in your lowercase than your uppercase?
David Berlow told me to do that.
Okay.
That's not a good reason.
I mean, he's the guy who's saying no, we're not releasing this
He's the
typeface.
boss.
So
I don't know. I'm
So
just
why
wondering.
doesn't it
Like I would.
because I could work, I guess I could lose my job. No, he would do that, but he would. Yes. He's. I feel like the reason why he was interested in having it be that heavy because he was interested in having more weight being distributed on such a wide character.
Yeah. But look at your cap X, for example, compared to your W.
Uh-huh.
The weight of those serifs.
Yeah. I mean, in my eyes, it feels like these are too light because.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
they
not
are.
sure.
Yeah.
They're like they're not occupying. If you kind of look at the overall density of that X, for instance, like they don't occupy enough space. They're very like they look like they're about to break off.
Okay,
Right.
but look at your W compared to your N. The weight of those serifs on the end of those thin
Right.
strokes.
Yeah.
There you can see there's a big difference.
Right. So maybe I just need to figure out how this shape actually works differently because.
Yeah, like
it's.
you've got a lighter one underneath that one.
Hmm? Oh, that's actually true. Or,
The old one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like the uppercase serifs was like more scooped out.
Yeah, but that might be.
I can't do this up here.
It's okay.
But no, that's negotiating these serifs at such a high contrast. I mean, it's a challenge, obviously.
Sure.
So let's see. Yeah, no, I've been thinking about the H, and I've been trying, but it's like if I change that, it's like, are there other things that need to happen too? But of course, my first prerogative was making this a wide typeface, which is just hard for. Yeah, I don't know. No, these are good thoughts, though. Obviously, I appreciate them.
The bottom of the 2 looks too heavy.
Yeah.
And the 4, the teardrop at the top, it looks, I tried to tilt it down a bit, like the R's teardrop is tilted, just tilt it down a bit, it looks a bit, I don't know, maybe make it a bit smaller, it looks a bit off too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, definitely. I love feedback in my numerals because I spend the least time on numerals so far. Just because.
Like it kind of looks like it curves up, and all the rest, like it seems like it should curve a bit down, like with the teardrop at the top.
Oh, I see. That's interesting. It looks kind of like it's caved here or something.
Yeah, it looks like it's going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You mentioned before when you were drawing your other weight that you should get this down first. I was going to ask Dan what your thoughts are on that. I mean, my kind of idea would be that you would draw these things at the same time, but everyone has a different approach. Do you have a thought on that? Like,
There's drawing the weight in the bold
different weights, drawing different weights at the same time, or drawing.
I like to draw different weights at the same time to start thinking about what's going to happen in the middle and plan for those problems, let them feed into the solutions and the goals.
Yeah, right. Not like uncake problems by thinking about how it happens across the family instead of just by itself.
Well,
I think it's more about testing, no? It's like testing out different.
No, not so much about testing, but like really thinking about if you're backing yourself into a corner with one way. Because those, if you begin thinking about the problems in the transition, that's suddenly like your space to come up with a fresh approach to addressing it.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah. Right.
Cool.
Especially if you're drawing a lighter weight, and then you get to your heavier weight and you're like, shit, it doesn't fit in. Or, like,